we are going live, and we are here to present to you Pathfinder Kingmaker. Here with me our narrative designer Chris Avalon, and I am Alexander Beshulin, creative director for this game. And
I love how that.
here is a special event in book. I have to save the card for the gnomes.
And the nice thing about these adventure books too is they'll actually reward players that have explored the environment, or try and look for other ways outside the immediate encounter to try and help solve it. So, for example, if you'd explored the area, you could have found various items that would help you, like rope or crowbar, and you can use those as options to actually help save the cart if you've thoroughly explored the area. So, I mean, one of the cool things about role-playing games, you want to reward exploration. This is a good example of it. I don't know how much the audience is familiar with the old Infinity Engine games, but what they used to do is they'd have a feature that if you hit the tab key, it would outline basically all the lootable objects on the map and doors and things like that. But what Kingmaker's done that's kind of cool is they've sort of removed the cheat aspect of that. And sometimes there's only containers that will show up if you have the right skills or perception to see them, and they'll show up as purple on the map, and your companions will call them out when they see them. So it makes sort of like you still get that sense there's actually secrets in the environment. That, for example, like that exciting box is hidden in there. See?
Yeah. So I am setting the crowbar, tying the rope, and trying to pull this out. So it will come down to the last check. I have a lot of things in my favor, but I can possibly fail. But I didn't. So I saved some trader, and he's telling me about the mage that lives nearby and research trolls. Additional dangers like Hodaclair. I can ask him about political situations, and Mivon, which is kind of neighbor of my barony. I can try to persuade him to join my barony as a trader and expand range of goods I have in my throne room and improve my economy. But I failed.
One other thing too is if you'd chosen to deploy your troops in that first throne room scene to help protect the trade routes, this particular trader, if I recall his dialogue correctly, he actually reacts to you doing that, and there's changes that result from that. So you get to see your impact on the environment when you make decisions like that. So Kool-Aid really wants to know if you can turn trolls into slaves. Well, let me tell you, I think one of the options with the trolls is much like you can with the kobolds, where depending on how you treat their tribe or their sort of growing nation, that can actually have an influence on your kingdom, both positive and negative. So maybe not in explicit detail like you're pointing out, but there are different alignment path options you can choose with them, so which I think is kind of cool. And for people asking if you make chaotic evil, yes, you absolutely can. And the 9 alignments that are in Pathfinder, you can definitely be any of those 9. And yes, there are alignment restrictions where if you do break out from alignment, there are certain character classes that are cut off to you, or you lose the abilities, if I recall correctly.
Yes, you can become Fallen Paladin, for example.
Yay, Fallen Paladins are the best. They're more honest.
And here I'm trying to climb, and I'm successful at that. But here is a nasty surprise with 8 legs.
Oh, Berserker couldn't know. There isn't low intelligence dialogue options in the game, no. And Alexander, for character creation, it's a point-buy system, not random roll, right?
right now it's point buy. We were asked about if we will provide a random rolling as an option, and we are going to do that. If you really want to roll your stats as in old school games, you will be able to do that. It's up to you to decide.
Alexander, if you're adventuring with a party of less than 6 people, that doesn't change the amount of experience points everybody gets, right?
It's a tricky one. Right now it does not. But probably we will shift this into the per encounter experience. We will playtest it with less party members and understand how it will play out in the long game, because this demo is about 4 hours long and represent only a small part of the game. So we will have to playtest more and understand whether it provides good experience or not.
Someone wants to see the spell tab.
Yeah, I can show that.
And we can do that. We have the power.
Yeah. So this character doesn't have any spells, and here is some spells for Octavia. It's still work in progress. It's completely not the final art. A lot of interfaces are still in development, but it is useful, and I can memorize spells, remove memorized spells, do everything. And here is my cleric with all of his spells. And we implement more spells daily, and there will be an enormous amount of them, same as in Pathfinder. Even in core rulebook there are hundreds of spells. So Wizard tells us the result of his research, but it's interesting, but also question about troll in his cage is interesting, and here we are presented with a lot of moral choices what we have to do, and our companions have different opinions about those. Whether they consider troll sentient or not. Also, what the wizard doesn't really break any laws, so how we can address this and what we'll choose is really interesting.
And I thought the idea of the wizard actually taking advantage of the troll's ability to regenerate to experiment on them was pretty cruel.
Yeah. And our companions interact and they insert them into the dialogues, like Octavia here. She's really disgusted with me, with my decision to just allow Wizard his experimentation, and begs me to differ. And I can choose whether I want to support her or just send her away. And while this decision alone will not make her hostile to me or just make her leave my companions, if I do a lot of things that can be that is not in line with her view of the world, she will eventually leave me or even do something worse.
Yeah, each of the companions has their own agenda and outlook on life, and they don't put up with things that obviously they disapprove of, and they're not just following you around. Like they will act on what they believe, and that could even mean bad things for you. So it's something that you want to manage and keep in mind, or you want to exploit, and maybe you don't want those people in your party. So it's your choice.
And we encounter trolls that speaks common politely. And Dekan is not really into talking with trolls because they killed his family, and he's feeling he wants to revenge his family. It feels like they set up their own kingdom and have capital of trouble. And here is an option that I could be able to pick up if my character will had a lawful alignment. But right now I'm true neutral and I am unable to select that. But if my character was lawful, I could press this troll into leading me to his king and escape quite a lot of fights and just go and solve matter in king's way. There is some cave-in and rocks, and if I am able to climb those, I will be on top. And I see cutscene where a lot of kobolds come into this new established capital of trolls and kobolds. We'll lob some bombs.
This won't kill me.
When Amiri said that something won't kill her, this actually will kill her. These fights are a bit more difficult than they expected to be, because I wasn't exploring a lot of spaces and I could have arrived with more experience and more powerful items. But I hope I will manage. And they destroyed me, as those they should.
Looking, I'm getting killed. Hey, can someone help me?
Yeah. So I will let our players explore this area on their own when time comes.